What's going on, everybody? My name is Brayden and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about male privilege and do I experience that as a trans man. But first, if you haven't already done so, please consider hitting that subscribe button and show that like button some love as well. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. Alright, so the first thing I need to address is that for some reason I've had an influx of people asking me to donate to their charities. I do have that old video up on my channel where I was, promoting my GoFundMe for my top surgery. This was years ago. I left it, even though I don't need that anymore. I left it up so that people could continue to post their links. I need to point out that I wish I could help every single person. My company does donate 10% of all profit to various charities, but I have a very long list of charities that I am currently working through. And if you share your link with me or your calls or whatever the case may be, your fundraiser, then I can add it to the list. I'm just not sure how long it will take me to actually get there. I just did not want you guys to think I don't care about your charities and your fundraisers, because I do. I just have a lot of people reaching out to me at the moment. Now that that's out of the way, yes, we have my rabbit in the background. I tried to burn my computer down by having the tower set up into an area that it could not breathe, so I had to do some rearranging. And now you can see Thumper in the background, and that is my bearded dragon right there. That's Falcor, and then these are my ball pythons. And then, of course, as always, the dogs. But enough of that, let's go ahead and talk about what we came here to talk about today. Is male privilege a thing? Absolutely, 100% male privilege is a thing. Do I experience male privilege or white male privilege? Absolutely. It's not really something that you think about. If you're a cis male, I can see how they wouldn't really think that they have any kind of privilege over females. However, coming from the transition side of it, being female and now I'm male, I have witnessed firsthand the difference between how you're treated as a female and how society treats you as a male. And as sad as it is to say, it certainly exists. But along with that, I feel like comes a certain level of confidence. I think it's most important for trans men to not get on that bandwagon once you reach a level where society is 100% treating you as a male figure. Please don't forget that you once were a female. Even if you don't want other people to know that, it's really important that you remember that just as a human being. I'm going to give you a couple of examples where I've experienced this firsthand, and they're things you really wouldn't think about unless you were looking for them. The first thing that pops in my mind is when I took my truck to the shop. Used to, as a female, when I would take my vehicle to a place to have it looked at for whatever reason, I just feel like the male mechanics and the workers, as soon as you walk in the door, they're like, oh, well, okay, this girl doesn't know what she's talking about. So we're going to do everything we can to squeeze every penny out of her. That's not everywhere. But in my experience, I've been to different mechanics as a female, and I have been to some that are like that. I'm not saying that they're all like that. There are some really good mechanics out there and shops out there that will not take advantage of you. But if you are a female, I feel like they view that as an opportunity to take advantage of you. That was just my experience. I would take it in for something simple like an oil change, and they would come back to me telling me that there was, several other things wrong with the vehicle that needed to be fixed. That is part my fault for not educating myself on vehicles at the time, but that is not why I took the vehicle there. I took the vehicle there to have an oil change. Now, as a male, anytime I've taken my vehicles to the shop, this has not happened one time. If I take it in for an oil change, that's what I get. No calls back. No, hey, this is going on with the vehicle, you need to have it fixed. Nothing like that. I have even taken my truck to the shop for something that I thought was going to be expensive and was prepared to pay for, and they came back with a very simple and cheap fix. Another example I can think of is negotiating. If you're a female and you're not confident and you go into any kind of negotiation with a male, they are not going to take you serious. And the chances of you getting the deal that you want to get or you're hoping to get are slim to none. I know I keep referring back to my truck, but these are just things that stick out in my mind the most. For example, the first vehicle I ever bought by myself, I went to a dealership and I was prepared to negotiate a little bit, but I wasn't confident and I wasn't armed with enough information to be able to do that. So that, mixed with the fact that I was female, walking into the dealership automatically put me at a disadvantage. I ended up not getting the car for the price I wanted at all and paid sticker price for the car. However, when I bought my truck last May, I went to the dealership, had cash ready to pay, was confident, and was armed with the information I needed to get the truck for the price that I wanted. But as soon as I stepped in that office to negotiate the deal, I knew right away that I was going to have an advantage simply because I was male. I could just feel the difference between when I went to the car dealership as a female years ago and when I went to the car dealership last year as a male. Now, I'm not going to go too far into white male privilege. I just don't feel like I want to get into that debate. But do I think it exists? Yes. And do I think that I experience it? Yes. I don't get profiled nearly as much as, say, you know, an African American would or any other person of color. I cannot think of any examples off the top of my head where I have experienced this firsthand, but I know that I have. There's no way that I haven't walked through my transition without encountering white male privilege at some point. So, yes, male privilege is a thing, and do I experience it? Absolutely, I do experience it. Maybe you can share your own personal experiences in the comments, whether or not you've experienced it. Just please remember to be polite and nice and kind to one another. That is the most important thing. Positive comment shout out of the day goes to Jesse again. He is the only one that commented on the last video. He says, thanks for the video, man. Very helpful. I appreciate all your support, Jesse. I know you watch all of my videos. Also, Bronson Lawson posted his GoFundMe in my last video comments. So be sure to check that out if you feel like you would like to do that. Remember, guys, you are all beautiful people, and I will see you back here next time.